talk about this. You ready to go?
Yeah, I was born ready.
Hell.
You want to start that again?
No. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a dynamic duo special. We talked about this. We would only.
This is dynamic duo?
Yeah.
Fuck that. No, this is Geek First episode.
No, it's not Geek First episode.
Yeah.
This is dropping on like a random Sunday.
We're like a subreddit of Geekverse.
Yeah,
A
pretty much.
subreddit?
We're a spin-off.
A spin-off.
A subset?
Mm-hmm.
A subreddit?
Subreddit? I know, I don't read it.
Anyways, I am
This guy.
the man without fear or trust now.
I am the devil of Hell's Kitchen, Dylan Moss.
I am the fighting McFeister, Kyle
Oh,
Smith.
That's
fuck.
a Taylor nickname.
We
if I've
were
ever smelled
perfect.
one.
Oh, they.
Whatever happened to that water? You're eating more water, too.
Do you actually really
No,
know?
that's fine.
Okay. They're actually in competition for
parched, though.
worst nickname, like, easily.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, this would be a perfect time. It is Dynamic Duo. We said we'd use Dynamic Duo to talk about big specials, previews, prediction events, and that's what we're doing right here. We're going to do a Defender sort of preview. What this is, don't really know. This is our first time doing this.
Okay.
We have some questions, and we're going to talk about some stuff, but this is our first time doing this. Let us know if you like this, because we're going to give, like, a rundown of, like the previous shows. Talk about what we expect.
Full spoilers. Also.
Yeah, full spoilers. So if you haven't watched the other shows, tune out, come back another
Not
time.
spoilers of Defenders, because we haven't seen it yet.
Or have we? No.
I know a couple people who have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you, my brother's seen that
Yeah.
apparently. Yeah. Yeah, and if you like this, let us know, because maybe we'll do this Infinity War. I think this is good for like big events to maybe talk about some stuff, and just because literally when we record this, Defenders is a week away.
Yeah.
Whoa.
First of all, let's just
That's
start
true.
excitement. Let's just go that way.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I don't have it. I mean, I'm retired, so I have all the time in the world to watch these again and again.
You're what? You're retired?
Retired.
It's a Borat joke. I'm not trying to be offensive. It was from Borat.
You're
You
Okay.
banned from
Oh,
Geek
yeah.
First. Got 5 months suspension.
Yeah, a petition kicked Travis off of the keepers, but yeah.
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 For me, man, like, I feel like Defenders coming out August, it's always just seemed like it's so far away, but I don't even know how August is upon us. Like, it still feels like July, so
It's true.
the fact that it's next week is just great. Even though I'm, like, frequently, like, looking at my calendar, planning out the next podcast, I still, like, forgot that it's next week until you said it. So, it's awesome.
For me, even though it's next week, even this week, for me, it just feels like it's taking super long. This reminds me of the very first time I saw Avengers, or like when Force Awakens came out. It's just that like I'm like overhyped now. It's just like I just wanted to be here. I'm
Yeah.
so done. Like I'm
Yeah,
sick and
true.
tired of seeing previews. I'm sick and tired. Like
Yeah.
I just like, and I've been sold since day one. Like I didn't. They wouldn't even need to drop a Defenders preview, and
Just
I would
the title?
Yeah.
Fine, good
exactly. That would have been good enough. But I cannot wait. It's like the show really has to. It's similar as Logan this year. Like really has to match some expectations for me, because like the hype is so high. Yeah, not every show, which we'll talk about, not every show has been like a knock out of the park good, but like I've enjoyed them all. I've liked to love them, so like
It's
this
just,
really
like,
has to.
I remember when we first got that, like, early teaser trailer, which was just like, wasn't it just like a
Logos.
newspaper?
Yeah, it was putting
thing?
it was putting their
It
logos
was
together.
It was
yeah.
like quite literally nothing, but it was still just like, oh, I'm so ready for this.
Nirvana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle, you have anything to add on your excitement?
No, I'm just pretty pumped, to see all these characters come together.
Welcome back, by the way.
Yeah,
we haven't been
thank you.
podcast for like a few months.
Yeah, it's been...
Unless you're listening to Spider-Man Retro and you never went anywhere, so.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what started this all off, and we'll tie into season 2 as well. Daredevil, we all love that, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that. Let's just talk about, I guess, Matt coming off of, Elektra died right in front of him.
Mhm.
Coming off kind of a dark ending for
Yeah,
him in
yeah.
season 2. What are you guys expecting, maybe like his journey, or what are you expecting to see out of that character? Because I've heard rumblings that he might not be Daredevil at the beginning of Defenders, that he's maybe pulled the Dark Knight Rises and
Really?
like kind of
Okay.
given it up.
I was kind of thinking that as well, too.
Mhm.
Like, maybe at first, he does only just play Matt Murdock because he just feels so disappointed in himself. Well, I guess disappointed.
He let his true love die.
His true love died, and upset. So just getting through the whole works of things, and then I think eventually, finding everything out and all these bad guys, kind of just this redemption of like, this is it. But then maybe when he sees Elektra, eventually.
True, that could be the way to get him back in. He's
Yeah.
sworn it off, and then when he sees evil Elektra, because
Yeah, thinking about like, oh, that was the reason why he gave that up, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it works with
But-
that character
yeah.
more than any, because he's a lawyer and he can naturally come to the story where if, like, I don't know, Jessica Jones stopped being a private investigator, you'd be like, why is she in the story? Where Matt Murdock, she's like, we've already seen that trailer when he's like, stop talking, like,
Yeah.
I'm your lawyer now, to Jessica Jones. So like he can fit in there. I think I think if he is not being Daredevil, I think it'll take him like a little bit. But I think we brought up if he sees Elektra,
I think that'd be like his turning point, or like that wall that like really stops him with like, do I like keep going, or like this is the girl that I didn't want to be with, I wanted to be with, and I thought she died, and like what's kind of more of that confusion. So it should be really interesting how they play that out.
Plus, it could be a little reluctant, to get back in there. Is it for the right reasons or not?
And kind of in the previews, we've kind of seen like he wasn't really in the Daredevil suit that much.
We saw some fight scenes.
He was in it at some point.
At some point, but like I'm thinking that's probably later on. But like a lot of it, like he just was just in his regular attire.
That's true. There is that like classic hallway fight scene where he's just in like his suit and that like scarf over his head. Yeah. I think one thing I'm really curious to see, because I feel like in my head, Daredevil is almost like the foundation or like the base of this.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, for a few reasons, like he had the first show that started it. He's had 2 seasons as opposed to everyone else's 1, and he's just like the most iconic Marvel character out of all of these characters. Yeah. So I'm curious to see whether or not he kind of plays that leader role within these guys, or if it's more, or if it is like just an equal, like they're all kind of just backs against each other, all working together. Like I really want to see how that. I think the thing I'm most excited for is the interactions between all these characters. And so, between him and Jessica Jones, him and Luke Cage, him and Iron Fist, all of them, and then just all of them together. Like I think more so for me, it's just like the culmination of them, rather than what am I excited for like any individual character.
Yeah, like I think you hit the nail on the head. Like I'm not even excited. They do great action. It's the same guys that did Daredevil season 2, so we know they're gonna deliver on fight scenes and whatnot. But like, I'm not even excited by that. I see the hallway stuff. I'm like, that's great, but the scenes of them like sitting around the dinner table, that's the stuff I want to see. Like you said, you brought up a good point. Is anybody the leader? Because the only other person I could see kind of being the leader is maybe Luke Cage, because he's just very powerful and very stern, but at the same time,
I almost feel like he's too quiet or something.
Yeah, he's too cool even to be the leader. Yeah, he's just like, he's kind of there. Yeah, he's their way, their Hulk. Like he wouldn't. To me, he's not the guy that's gonna sit down and lay out a plan or like, here, what are you gonna do. Jones seems like she could be like that, but she's just too...
She's too much of a fuck it attitude. Like,
she's too much of a wild card to like trust her plan.
And then Iron Fist is just stupid, maybe a little bit. Maybe
I don't know. I think maybe they'll like change his character a little bit to be not so naive and kind of...
I will. We'll get to him, because I want to talk about that. But I think Matt has the best chance of being the leader in the sense that there is a leader. He's
more grounded.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way of like, even though like we made that, you were kind of making that comparison, kind of like Iron Man being the top guy. At the end of Avengers, there's that moment where Cap goes and he's like, Black Widow, you take this tower, you do this, and Hulk, you smash. Like Daredevil, even though he's the mainstay, he kind of has that Captain America feel of, he's going to do everything to achieve his goal, and I think he's the best. He's the most level-headed, even though he's kind of a messed up dude. He's had a tough life, and he's not always, like, you can tell he's kind of addicted to being a superhero, which is going to be good to see him not be Daredevil and see what that's like, but...
I think if there is a leader role, it's either going to be him or Iron Fist, simply because of, like, the villain, and they have the most knowledge on the hand, as opposed to Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, who know nothing about the hand as far as
no, because Luke Cage dealt with his brother, and he dealt with Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
And Luke and Jessica Jones was all about Kilgrave. So this is the first time they've had any interaction. And Daredevil really had interaction with them in season 1, which I'm rewatching right now. But more was about season 2 of Stick talking to them. Elektra coming in talking about the what the fuck is that weapon they're calling her?
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember, because it's not a comic book term. It's like, it's not this, it's like Blood Rain or something like that. Like, it's Blood Moon or something like that.
I can't remember.
Because there's that kid that's that version. I'll try to look it up while we're talking. But, yeah, I'm excited to see what he does. And I guess we can link them in, because I know we'll talk about them later. We're going to, like, talk about some of our favorite stuff from the other seasons. But how do any of the other, let's save Punisher, how do any of the other people like Foggy and Karen really play into this? Because... we didn't talk about this. Yeah. Last time we saw Daredevil, he revealed his true identity to Karen. Yeah. And that's like a big thing they can't really ignore. They can't just be like, I guess they could, but it'll feel kind of weird if it's like, oh, but we're not going to talk about it in season 3. Like, it has to play on that she knew, like, she knows who he is now, right? And does that make the relationship any better?
It's so hard to say, because obviously this show is shorter than every other show, and each other show is focusing mainly on one of these characters. Obviously, Jessica Jones had Luke Cage in there and whatnot, but yeah, it's gonna be. I think that's one thing I maybe like cautious and curious about is how they're going to handle those side characters, because while there's only like a couple that storylines that I didn't really care for, most of them I'm like pretty interested in, and I want them to do like all of these characters justice, even if they're like Foggy and Karen. I want to know what happens like next in their story, and I want it to be good.
Well, the tough thing is though, it is going to be not even balancing like the defenders, like you were bringing up. You got to balance Karen Foggy. You got probably like Warren and the Meachums over there and Iron Fist. Like,
do you think we'll get those characters?
I
don't think we will.
So because
Iron Fist
new.
2 has been announced, and that's like, well, because after this it's Punisher, and then is Iron Fist 2 after, or what's the order of?
I think after this it's for sure Punisher, which we'll talk about in a bit, and then
is it Jessica Jones?
I think Jessica Jones is next that they film the most.
Has that been announced?
Yeah, they're filming it right now.
Oh, I didn't actually know that.
Oh yeah, no. Next year, I don't know if it's 3, but the rumor is we're gonna get Jones, Daredevil, and Cage maybe all in 1 year, but if not, it's gonna be Jones, Daredevil, Cage, and Iron Fist. So the only reason is like it's pretty much the same order as they released, except for Daredevil because it already got a season 2. So Jones got a season 2, which that we can talk about in a second. But so Iron Fist did just happen. So I think we'll see. I don't know if we'll see appearance of any of those business like the Warren Meachum or
maybe we will now that I think about it, because Harold obviously was entangled with them at some point, and he also was resurrected. So
True.
I mean, now that I think about it, maybe they will make an appearance. I
don't think they'll be as big as we think they are. I think it's going to be more focused on that core 4, and then kind of the supporting. Like, I don't know how in depth they'll go with like the whole Karen knowing that Daredevil. Like that might just be like kind of his own thing, and then they kind of just play like from his point of view of like what's going on, because to play on like all those extra like side pieces that we see is quite a bit of information between just those like the 4 defenders, and then you have all their supporting characters as well.
Well, you have Karen Foggy, and then in Iron Fist you have Colleen Wing, who's coming back. She's in all these previews. You have Misty Knight from Daredevil or from Luke Cage. I'm sure Jessica Jones is going to have I can't remember the guy's name, but he's like her little help. Like he used to be the drug addiction guy, I remember. So I wonder which. I feel like Misty will be in it quite a bit because she's a cop and she's easy to play a role in. And I do feel like Karen Foggy will be in it a good portion, but I feel like the rest of them will appear but not be.
And they're just like, it's
and I guess the other girl that we didn't talk, but I can't remember her name, but she's kind of the one who's kind of put them all together.
Claire, I guess Claire will be. I think Claire will be in there quite a bit because she's also dating Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Now, right? So
she's probably gonna be like 5th most appearance, like 5th most appear. I don't know how the fuck to say that, but you know what I mean.
Screen time.
Screen time. There you
5th
go.
most screen time. Yeah. What do we think? I'm jumping a little ahead here, but I just want to bring it before I forget. What do we think is gonna happen? This is gonna be the first time Jessica Jones sees Luke Cage after he just like broke up, left her. Like they didn't break up, but just like. Remember, they were on rocky terms because found out that Jones had killed his wife. She was under a trance, but still killed his wife. He got shot, and then they did the thing where she went off, like she got Claire to help her out, and then when she came back to her apartment, Luke Cage was gone. He went on his own adventures, and now not only are they going to see each other again, but now they're going to see each other, and he's with Claire now. How is that going to go? That's juicy. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I wonder how much they'll play on the love triangle aspect of it, because I almost feel like both of them are like content to move on, and like I feel like
Jones isn't.
I think she will be though, because I feel like her like general attitude of like I don't care about things, and like I don't know, I could see her like just being content to move on, but then I guess there also is that dynamic that she knows Claire. And
she introduced them, kind of in a way. That's the thing. Could she be fine with just working with Luke Cage, but then the fact that Luke Cage is going to come in and have a lady with them, and in that say, I don't think it's going to be a huge plot point, but I think there'll be at least an episode where it is a big plot point. I don't think it'll be a whole series. I think it'll either be that, or it'll be little stuff in this, like little moments in the series. Because I think. You gotta have them have some sort of like kind of like come to Jesus moment. Like they have to talk about why he left, right? She can't just like be fine with it. So they have to do something to they gotta address it. It's kind of like the Karen thing, right? Like it can't be a huge plot point.
Yeah.
The only other reason I'm bringing this up too is because I imagine he is not going to be in like Jessica Jones season 2. So that was a huge plot point in the first season of Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
So in a show-wise, you'd almost have to address it because this is the only time you can address it, right? In
Yeah,
season
true.
2, she'll be moving on. So maybe this is the moment where she actually goes to move on now. You
Well,
know, maybe...
I think in order for all of them to get together, they're gonna have to like actually talk about this and move on from this, and like it's a snare that they've put themselves in.
Mm-hmm. And what do you
Honestly, the more we're talking about this, the more I'm getting like a little bit worried. Like,
really?
are they going to be able to pull off all of these storylines and all these
It's
reveals,
Netflix and Marvel.
but also at the same time, create a new villain that we haven't seen before and make that a good villain? Like, there's a lot to deal with.
Think
man.
about it this way, though, is you have 8 hours, and you also, other than that villain, don't have to do any origin stuff. You think about all the series, other than Iron Fist, all the series have at least an episode or 2 dedicated to an origin. Jessica Jones had a flashback episode, Luke Cage did.
Yeah.
Daredevil kind of had it always in a series throughout, so it's a good thing. We don't really have to meet these characters. It's very much like the Avengers, where they can just focus on the dynamic and any problems. And it is 8 hours, so I think they have a chance. They can't always be fighting the hand, right?
Yeah.
So I think they have...
That is a good point.
I think they got a
and
good
even like
time.
while the character like Sigourney Weaver's villain character is new, I guess we've already seen the hand, and if she's part of the hand in some way, I don't really know. If she is, then like okay, we've already
she's the leader. I'm thinking.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like then we have a bunch of build up through Iron Fist and through Daredevil. It was mostly season 1, right? Or entirely season 1 with
For
the hand. Sorry,
season 2. Yeah, because
Season
that's
two,
when
right.
Elektra came in, and
So yeah, now we have 2 like whole previous seasons of like introduction into like what that gang's about, and then we already have a few people. Like we have Madame Gao, and we have Bakudo, I think it's
Bakudo. Yeah.
Yeah, so we already know like 2 of those like mob boss sort of people. So yeah, I guess in that sense, maybe I'm getting a little worked up.
I think it's valid though, because I'm the same way. Even no matter how many times Marvel does it, Avengers they knocked it out of the park. Civil War, I'm like, oof, it's gonna be too many characters. And Civil War, to me, it's my favorite, and it's the best Marvel movie. And it's the same directors doing Infinity War, and I'm still like, oof, Infinity War could be quite messy. But it's like you just get nervous when you have that many moving parts put together, and like they could be easily just like, oh, this like. We're not in that room. They could be writing it like, oh, this is flowing so well. But when you have to put together... Because let's be honest, not all the shows have flowed 100% well. I think Daredevil's the only one that has.
Yeah.
Iron Fist felt long. Luke Cage felt long.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones, I
Could've
think,
been
felt
shorter,
just a few episodes long. Even then, I liked the episodes, but that was the closest. But you do get that worry. But I'm hoping with the 8 episodes and with all the characters... that 8 hours is enough to give enough. That's
Well, I mean, they don't have any time to throw away, really.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
And they got to be snappy with it. And if they do, damn, the show is going to be like exciting. And I wouldn't be surprised if like I watch it, we do the review the day after, and then like I go watch it again like right away.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited for second watches.
Yeah, that's the reason why there's no like 10 or 11 or 12 episodes, just because. You hit it right. Like there's already an origin story, so we can kind of just get to those problems that we've kind of already talked about, and just get kind of it over and done with, and like move on, and then try to get more build up of like this new villain.
Yeah.
So, and I'll talk about that villain in a bit as well. Jessica Jones, next one. Also, we already talked a bit about the Luke Cage stuff. Ended with her killing Kilgrave and just kind of slipping back into her own life in a way. Like, I don't know, like, she seemed like she chose it, but at the end, she's taking her calls, doesn't look that happy. What are we kind of expecting from her? I think she's going to be the most comedic relief, because that's Jessica Jones' type of personality.
Yeah.
Other thing I forgot to mention as far as side characters, we have Trisha coming back, who I actually really like Trisha.
Yeah,
she, for minor spoilers, I'm not sure if it happens, but she does become a superhero at some point in the comics, so she's Hellcat. What is her kind of... I honestly think the Luke Cage stuff will be her journey, but I feel like she's the most undefined, because Daredevil had coming off undefined for what she could do in this. Like that's why I think she might be mostly the comedic relief, because Daredevil's bouncing off Elektra's death. Luke Cage has to get out of prison, which we'll talk about a little bit. Iron Fist obviously ended with like his entire people getting killed by the hand, so they all have like a drop. They all ended in a way where okay, I see where they're going next. Where Jones just ended. And it was like, okay, that could have been a one season and done. You wouldn't even need to do a season 2. So where is she? What's her driving force in this, really?
Well, like beyond those points you just mentioned, like Daredevil has obviously interacted with the hand. Yeah. So has Iron Fist, and then Luke Cage, while he hasn't directly, obviously Claire knows a shit ton about the hand now, and obviously they're together now. Whereas Jessica Jones, now her connection to it is like, oh, I know Luke Cage, who knows Claire. I guess she knows Claire as well,
Yeah.
who then knows the Hand. So, yeah, I haven't really thought about this yet, but she kind of has, like, at this point in time, the least emotional attachment with our current villain, and her villain from her show actually dies, which isn't necessarily the case with the other shows.
Yeah, Kingpin makes it. Cottonmouth dies.
Yes, but he's more like because doesn't he
He's
bite
the
the bullet
middleman.
after like 4 episodes or something like that?
He's the
I guess
middleman.
Diamondback does as well.
Yeah. No, Diamondback's just in prison. I think he's.
Is he?
I don't think he killed him. And then who else are we
Oh, I
missing?
think you're right.
Iron Fist.
Well, Iron Fist, like, because Bakudo lives, Madame Gao lives.
Yeah.
What was the dad's name again? David
Harold?
or Harold Meacham
Harold.
doesn't make it. He falls off a building. Remember?
Oh yeah.
True, but he like doesn't he like revive?
No, remember when they like
No.
burn him?
Oh,
That
yeah,
like
yeah.
But either
Yeah,
way,
true.
they had other people slinking. Like Bakudo escaped, right? And
Yeah.
he's part of the Hand. So
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Because I've only seen each show once, so I'm a little foggy on some things. Foggy again. But so Jessica Jones, every other show has like multiple villains, but with her it's just Kilgrave. Like there's no other small time any characters that have like a name.
There was
Is there?
Nuke, kind of. Remember Trisha's boyfriend? That's like a war vet, and he kind of goes insane when he's popping those pills.
But wasn't he controlled by Kilgrave?
No. He was.
Oh,
He
right.
was
Yeah, I
at
know
one
what
point.
character
He's on
that-
their side, but then
Yeah, okay.
he is a villain in the
Anyone
comics,
else?
but not really. No,
Okay,
because she
yeah.
deals with like a lot of like just like little, just like one-off stories. I wonder. It just clicked me while you're talking. I think the way she's gonna be introduced is when we seen that preview. Matt Murdock comes in and he's like, "Don't stop talking. Like I'm your lawyer now, whatever." I think she gets introduced to the Hand by following a lead and investigating something, and that's how maybe she gets entwined with these other people. So I could see Iron Fist and Daredevil maybe kind of meeting first through Claire.
Yeah.
You bring in Luke, and even then, actually them three all meeting because Luke Cage will be with Claire.
Yeah.
That could be Jones's way in of, hey, Matt Murdock knows this person is working. Like they have some lead on somebody. Like Sigourney Weaver's character, she is. Jessica Jones has some evidence to show that she's maybe dirty or a bad person. Matt Murdock wants that. So I think that might be her purpose, is like to investigate and play. She can kind of play the role as like if someone like Taylor tuned in and not watched them all, she can play the role of asking questions of who's the Hand.
That's a good point.
Yeah, she does say what's the chi, like stuff like that. She can kind of be your guide. She's kind of our Captain
And you
America.
think about it too, like in terms of the strengths of the character. I guess Iron Fist technically has the most potential to be like the physically strongest, but Luke Cage is also just a tank.
Oh yeah,
And then Daredevil is just like
skilled.
like martial arts beyond imagination. So she technically has like super strength and can maybe fly,
But this is her power.
but
the
her
brain.
yeah, exactly. That's how she's gonna have to shine through as like a prevailing member of the team, like as having like an important role, is by her brains and her ability to solve a crime.
Yeah.
So
Kyle, what are you expecting out of Mrs. Jones, or just Miss Jones, I guess?
Miss Jones. I know you guys kind of brought some pretty good theories. I'm just.
But they're all wrong.
they're actually
They're
great
all-
theories.
Yeah, great theories.
We thought about it for months. I have a chart in my room.
Oh, crazy! And just like dots connected.
Yeah, I think a serial
everywhere.
killer. Like, whoa,
Oh, okay.
what is Jones doing in the show?
No, I'm kind of just wondering, like, there's a lot going on, and I'm just wondering if maybe she just finds herself, Misty like ends up like arresting her for doing something, and Jones kind of just goes down into this like spiral in the dumps, and I wonder if like Claire's, I guess because we've kind of already seen it, Claire's kind of the connecting piece between everyone in all these
She's
shows.
their Nick Fury.
So maybe Claire gets a hold of that. Hey, like this girl is in jail, and then she's like, "Oh, I know a lawyer." But like I don't want it to be like that. But I feel like that's kind of an easy way just to introduce. Meanwhile, like you kind of have more of like a thought out, like, oh, maybe she's investigating, and then someone gets in trouble.
I don't think it's too much of a cop out because multiple times in the series, Claire has said like, "I know somebody" or "I know a good lawyer," so she has like offered up the advice. So maybe it's this time where, hey, we actually finally need it.
Yeah.
Let's call this person. You know. Luke Cage ended going to prison. I guess let's start there. How the fuck does he get out of prison?
He smashes the post.
Okay, he has to get out. Do you think he's gonna bust out, or do you think he's gonna get out naturally? Because I think it has to be naturally.
I think it
or
has to be naturally.
Is the cops gonna be chasing him the whole series? Then is that?
That would be a fun little twist.
He's constantly beating up police. Great. I don't know how he's gonna
I
get.
kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, like obviously he was framed. I guess the easy way out is just they kind of do a semi-time jump, and someone's been working on the case, and he gets out. I guess my thing is,
I wonder if Jessica is working on a case to get him out.
Or what if Claire informs Matt Murdock, "Hey, I need you to help me out and get this dude out of prison."
Yeah, that's true.
And
She did say she was going to call him at the end of Defenders.
Right.
So
Yeah.
she did. So Matt's a great lawyer when he's on. Other times he just doesn't show up. Poor Foggy. But
Poor Foggy.
my thing is, this is where I'll kind of tie it into a question I was going to say for later. But my thing is, I wonder what prison he goes to, because could this be where we see maybe a little Fisk action cameo at all? Because that's a big looming question for me. Going into season 2 was, hey, we're going to see Fisk, and I love the way they did it. We didn't see him in the middle. They didn't announce that he was going to be in it. I have the same feeling about this. For some reason, I'm leaning towards we're not going to see him because it's so busy already. But I wonder if this is where you could see him in like a small little scene or something.
Like maybe they just have this conversation, and it's really well done because
they're working out together.
Luke Cage, like Wilson Fisk is telling him a story or just saying something, and it might sound cryptic, but like the viewer knows exactly what's going on. But Luke Cage is like, this guy's fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like that could be really cool. And I think if that's all his character was just like a little conversation like that, and then Luke Cage gets out somehow, and then you don't see from him again in Defenders. Like I think that could be. That could be a great way to just throw a dog a bone, I guess. Like here's this character that you guys probably love, and
because I don't feel
he's still around. Don't forget, he's still.
I don't even really play him in the jail again.
True, and that's why I thought. That's why I still lean towards no. I just thought this might be the only time because I don't feel like he ties into the hand at all. Like I feel like he's 100%. He's business crime. He's in the streets crime. Like he just hired assassins, things like that. Even though like. He technically worked with the hand, like we always forget the guy's assassin's name from the first season of Daredevil and Daredevil season 2. The guy that fucks Matt up with that big claw or whatever it is. Yeah, I can't remember. But like, so he's kind of worked with the hand, but I don't think he knew it was the hand. Like he just knows they're like some criminal organization. So I guess because I already asked it, do you think we see any Fisk appearance?
I would say most likely not.
Okay.
Even though I'd like to see it.
I'm gonna say yes. I think we're gonna see at least a cameo.
Okay, and it has to be a scene, not a photo, not a wanted poster.
The thing is, didn't Fisk in season 2 season 1, wasn't he working with Gal, like trying to get?
He was working with Gal, yeah.
So that's kind of like where I think maybe that connection might.
Who hasn't worked with Gal at this point?
Yeah, true, Gal.
She gets around.
She gets around in the crime world, yeah.
But that's the only like real connection I could see, maybe.
Yeah.
And somehow, I don't know, maybe someone's investigating Fisk and realize he's connected with Gal, and then realize that's the hand type thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'll still say no. I'm in Dylan's camp. I'd like to see it. I don't think he needs a big episode because once again they don't have time. But I think a cameo, even if it ended with like, let's say it ends with them defeating the hand, and then they kind of split off and they set up their next seasons. I would love for Matt Murdock after this whole night of beating the hand up. Lots of fighting, lots of bruises. He gets home and like
beating the hand up sounds like a term for masturbating.
It does. 100%. I'm beating the hand up tonight. But I would just love at the end of the day if he's so tired he gets home, turns on the TV, and all he hears is like them saying like, "Oh, Wilson Fisk was released today," like something like that, where you see like a setup like, okay, he's out. Because they've not talked about Daredevil season 3 at all, and I wonder if that has something to do with stuff in this because they haven't talked about who the villain would be or story, and they're filming that like soon. So, and I really want Fisk to come back because he was not in part of season 2 really. So, and I guess back to Luke Cage. What I feel like his motivation is really just gonna be like he's gonna be the most superhero-y of the group. Just like I'm just here to save the city because he was doing a lot in Luke Cage, right? Like he became the symbol.
There's a lot of like politics.
Yeah, like the man of the people, like with the hood and everything. I feel like it's just gonna be like. I'm going to protect people, and I want to use my gifts. I don't feel like he'll have a huge arc. That's where I feel like the Jones stuff is going to come in. It's like his maybe like his plot point of I don't know.
Him getting over the whole wife.
No, I was just thinking of one word, not a sentence, but I don't know. I'll come back to it. But I feel like that would just be his story, his main story, other than fighting the hand. And I'm very excited to see him and Iron Fist meet because they're a big duo in the comics. So I'm looking very forward to see their dynamic and.
And they do have that one scene in the
apparently they fight. Yeah,
cool.
Iron Fist ended with him going back to Kunlun, and everyone was dead, and the hand had taken them out. What are we thinking? One, what's going to be a story, and two. Because I think I maybe like him the most out of here. You guys still liked the actor doing it, but I think you guys still had didn't love him.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did not like him at all. So is this the moment where he turns it around? Like, because it's different writers and that, is he gonna shine better in this one? Because I actually think he's going to. Lots of people that saw the first episode said he even felt better and more natural in this one. I don't know if that's him in the role, or I honestly think it's a writing thing. That's the way I go, because it's the same people that did Daredevil.
Yeah.
They're very good. So, what do you see his story being, and what are you looking for to like him more as like this character, like, you know, Finn Jones playing him?
I think I like to see him be a little bit more serious and kind of more well thought out, instead of maybe it was just a writing thing where he just came off like really naive, and some of the you know, the things that he did didn't really make any sense, and kind of just really out of character and not really, I guess, thought out. I'm just going in circles, but
so was he sometimes.
yeah. So was he. No, it was. I'm just really interested to see. I just want him to be better, and so hopefully he does do better, and he kind of shines a bit more, and kind of is more of this leading light of like giving more understanding between the hand. You know what? Maybe after Cowling, like everyone has said, like kind of Kudlin, sorry, really grounds him and makes him, you know, like a little bit more serious, and realize like this isn't like, you know, like fun. It's always never been fun and games, but I felt like he was always just like, oh, I just need to beat the hand because it's like my destiny to do that. And
my job as the Iron Fist.
Yeah, so not like a stick up his ass.
I feel like this will just really like make him realize like this is actually serious, and to be a little bit more thought out, and realize that he can't just beat them by himself. And I think in the show, we actually might see that instead of him trying to do everything himself, he's going to realize he's going to need help if he's going to want to defeat these guys.
And I hope the characters maybe call him out on that. Like, we already saw in the previews of him, like, oh, my chi, and they're like, what's your chi? Like, they're kind of making fun of him. I think that might be a fun approach to take, of him being kind of the runt of the litter. Like, it's kind of true, you know? Like, and he's like...
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Shining Fist.
Yeah, like he is, like, probably the same age as most of them, but he feels like he's a bit younger, and I hope they play that up, and, like, I want him to be... From the comics, he's not like he is in the TV show, where he's just very, like... Not in the sense of the serious, like you're talking about it, not in the way of, like... He takes things serious, like, not unlike the show where he was very naive and didn't think things out, and he was very one-minded and one-track minded in the show, in the comics. He's very lighthearted, but he's not an idiot, and that's what I want. I don't need him to be serious like the rest of them and be like a badass, but I want him to be fun, but I also want him to be able to be smart and have ideas, and not just... I don't want everything to be evolving around him. I want him to feel like he's a part of the action. He makes a impact. Because I like Finn Jones, I like the performance, but even I can say it wasn't a knock out of the park. I'm hoping it was a writing thing, and I think it was, because the show had that throughout. So I want to see him more a part of the puzzle than just kind of looking off the side and seeing someone put the puzzle together. Like, I want him to feel important enough, feel like, oh, Iron Fist could have not been the show, and lots of these events still could have happened. You know, I want him to have a purpose, and don't be so dumb. I don't want to be so dumb, and a bit more quippy. He's the character that needs to be quippy, you know, out of all of them. He should be the comedic relief. So I hope we get that. I hope we get more fun-loving, yet smarter Iron Fist.
Yeah, for me, I wasn't a huge fan of the character of Iron Fist in his TV show. I thought he had definitely some good moments, but I think he also had some bad moments, and so he kind of balanced out to just like an okay character. But I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 years or something, after, you know, some more of these shows are out, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 years he's my favorite character, just because he's the character I have the most history with, which isn't much, because I never really read comic books, but I've always loved the character of Iron Fist. I think he's really cool, and I think, you know, Finn Jones is gonna, hopefully at least, he's gonna grow into the character more, and, you know, eventually just become that character, and not be so inconsistent, because I felt with some of his acting, it was just like one scene to the next, it wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then I think, with I don't want to say better, but a different group of writers, you know, creating the character. And then a big thing for me was the really lackluster fight scenes in his show, because that's such a big point of the character, and he's the most interesting, like, combat-wise, in terms of, like, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are really strong. They can punch someone through a, like, wall, and that's cool. And, you know, Daredevil's got the martial arts, but Iron Fist literally has, like, this fist that I don't even know what the fuck it does. Like, I'm really curious to find out, and I don't think that through the fight scenes in the show gave you a great idea of that. So yeah, I think overall with like this show has like all the tools set up for me to love Iron Fist because I really want to. I just can't yet based on like the show that they gave us. So yeah, I think there's a bunch of potential here, and if not, this will hopefully be a great stepping stone into Iron Fist season 2, where I can, call him my favorite character.
Yeah, we can just go up. That's the hopefully thing. I think that's about it for just the overall thoughts. I got some questions that are going to be more questions about like this season and just kind of the same thing as Fisk will have on this time. And then just we're going to do a little kind of a retrospective of all the shows and have a questionnaire, as Dylan hates when I say that, but good old questionnaire. I'll throw this out here. Signory Weaver, I think it's going to be a flat out yes, but it's worth asking. Right now, we don't know much about her. We have her name. I can't remember what it is.
Signory Weaver.
Yeah, true. We don't have any confirmation of her being a comic book character, anyone important. I think it's an obvious yes, but it's worth asking. Is she going to turn out to be somebody from the comics, or do you think that they are, hey, we just want to make someone new, someone that we don't have to adhere to the past and like have to follow something or do a great adaptation. We just want someone, or it's like, hey, we got Signory Weaver, let's make her a role. But I think it's possible. I still think the reason they're being so coy with it, there'll be a reveal, but I have no idea who it could be.
Honestly, I don't know whether it'll be just like a bigger character that they just didn't decide not to mention, so it's a reveal, or whether or not it's just some character, some like one-off character that was in maybe a couple comics a while ago, and they picked it like pretty much only for the fact that it's an obscure character, so they can do what they want with it. But I think 100% that she will be some comic book character.
Some people say she might be Meacham's mother's,
Oh shit.
Lauren and Joy, some people, because we never
That could be sick.
Kyle, she gonna be a comic book character?
I think she'll have to be a comic book character.
She has to be.
It doesn't really... To make up a new character, we kind of just... I don't know. I feel like the show has really followed, some of the comic book style. Yeah. And just to kind of veer off of it would be kind of out of character for them to do that. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why I think it's just going to be the same, like, train of just, like, keep it a comic book character and just, like, don't, like, relieve or show... like who it is actually.
Yeah.
Wow, that was different.
You're a bit tired?
Here's a sad one. Is Stick gonna die? I feel like you think about Avengers, you had Coulson die, Age of Ultron, you had Quicksilver die, Infinity War, they're all gonna die. No, like I think somebody's gonna die. This is a big team up one. Obviously, I'm not gonna ask any of the Defenders because they have their own seasons. And I didn't ask anything else. So if there's any other side characters you think you could throw it up, but I thought this was the most obvious one because his arc has been, I have to stop the hand, and I feel like he's going to die.
Will likely be no more after this show.
Yeah, and I feel like, because I agree, and I hope they are, because I don't, with Iron Fist, Iron Fist, and then Daredevil Season 2, and then this, you can talk about the hand and maybe have small appearances, but I don't want another big build up to the hand. I think after this, it should be done and let's move on and come together for a different reason. So I agree. I think the hand will die, and I think Stick's gonna die with it. So I'm in the yes category, and I think that's something that will be a tough watch.
Yeah, I think I'm more on the side that he will die, but I guess I wouldn't be too surprised if he didn't, and then they like postponed it to like. You know what? Actually, if he's gonna die, this is when he's gonna die. Mm-hmm. So I think he'll die
on the big stage. Yeah. Everyone's watching. Yeah.
So.
I think he's gonna die as well.
Mm-hmm.
This
poor guy.
Really, just it. I think there's just so much coming up to this that I think he's gonna be really the key who like really helps the group really find their chi together, and after that like
the whole group is chi,
and then he's just gonna end up dying, and then just the whole group's gonna realize that. He's done so much, and then they're gonna have to like.
In his dying moments, he will do something great that will help them all to conquer the hand.
Yeah,
it won't be in vain.
Or like help them individually in a way that they thought they didn't think.
Well, that has to help because probably the other people we don't know haven't really met him yet. Cage and Jessica Jones for sure. Maybe Iron Fist is.
Yeah, but you see him and you're like, this guy's important.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have a prediction. I think that the mind warped Elektra is gonna kill him. I think it's gonna be like really like Shakespearean, where this girl that he trained will kill her, or will kill him, and then maybe when she realizes what she's done, that'll help her snap out of this.
Is that from a comic book?
I don't think so. I'd have to look it up. I'll look up if Styx even dies. Sometimes Styx just die from like natural causes. I'm sure Styx been killed, but no,
Car accident.
Yeah, well, he's blind, so you know it's frowned upon. Yeah, I think that's the way you go out, is him fighting her dying Obi-Wan style. You know. Which, speaking of Elektra, what do we think happens to her? So obviously she died. The weapon was called Black Sky, is what she was.
Sky.
So we learned that her whole life she has been a weapon that the Hand's been protecting and waiting to use. This is the time they're gonna use her. Last time we saw her, she was in a fucking tomb. Lots of people praying over her. Obviously, which I predicted, and we talked about that a lot, that she's coming back as like a mind warp, like evil Elektra. What's gonna kind of be her story? Is she gonna? Obviously, there's a great shot to me of like Matt Murdock like holding her by the face, clearly trying to snap her out of it. Do they save her? Does she also die? Like what happens with Elektra?
I don't want her to die.
No,
but I feel like she might die as well. Elektra, unless she's like supposed to like move on.
I don't want her to die, but I think she might die. Well, what? Don't sit on the fence. Which camp you jumping into?
Pick one.
I'm gonna say she's gonna turn, but she's gonna end up dying.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fan in me wants her to live, and so I'm gonna go with the fan in me and say that she lives. So in the
she lives like evil, or she lives good.
That's what I'm trying to consider right now. I think what could happen is like she maybe gets to a point where like she's not just like fully evil, but like maybe she's wavering back and forth and it's like uncontrollable, and maybe it will like seem like, you know, she's back to normal, she's good, she's healthy, she's not evil, but there might be like a quick shot where you like the viewer gets something like a hint that she might not be like fully cured, I guess. And then maybe she appears in like Daredevil season 3 or something like that. Or maybe you know, maybe she's the main villain of Jessica Jones season 2. Who knows?
Or she just goes crazy.
And they fight for Matt Murdock's love.
I've been saying this forever.
And then Karen also gets in there, and it's a 3.
Oh, God.
And then Trish also hops in there because why not?
Claire
and then
too.
Misty.
Claire had some things going on.
Because haven't Misty and Daredevil hooked up at some point?
I'm sure they have. Matt Murdock is a notorious.
And get Colleen Wing in there. Just get all the females. And
he's
a big brawl.
He's a huge time womanizer in the comic books. Like him and Iron Man have probably slept with the most amount of women. I'm gonna go the other route. I think 100% she doesn't die. I think Elektra's too important of the character. I also think because she had just died in the last season, it'll lose a little effect.
It could be like the Kenny thing where she dies in
every season. I think it would lose an emotional impact. I think what's gonna happen, they'll snap her out of it. If my prediction is true that she kills Stick, she'll snap out of it. Maybe she'll even be the one that kills Sigourney Weaver as like a fuck you for doing this to me. But I think she will disappear, needing to collect herself and like find a way to live like she killed a guy that even though she's tried to kill Stick before, like still a father figure. And I think she'll need time. And then I think at some point, it might not even be in season 3, maybe in season 4 Daredevil. But I think she's a character they want to keep open. So I think she'll snap out of it, become good, help the team. But I think she will say, I need to go. It'll be Matt saying, this is our chance to be together finally. Yeah. Classic love story. They're always star-crossed lovers. They're always about to be together, and they're not. It's like Batman and Catwoman. So I think it'll be that way of, hey, I saved you, we finally be together, and Elektra will be like, I can't live with myself right now. Like, I need to go out and I need to go walk the earth, as Jules would say in Pulp Fiction. And then she'll pop up at some point in an episode. So I think 100% she lives, and I think she's good at the end of this. I mean, she just goes back to her like assassin ways and pops up here or there. You know, I think she's a good character. I think she could be like their Loki to keep around. To hey, you need her in a show, boom. You need a villain, boom. You need an anti-hero, boom. Like she works both ways, right? So cool. We've talked about this a few times. We talked about this at Comic-Con, Dylan, because there was a weird Korean trailer and then there was an American trailer, but they didn't talk about Punisher at all being in the show. But the show teaser kind of set this up for Kyle. I don't think you saw it, and other people. There was this teaser that was just really one note. It had Stanley narrating it, showing clips of the old shows, and then end with Punisher saying like, "Oh, like you almost forgot about me," or something like that. Like, oh, he says like, "Good thing I showed up just in time," and he's wearing the vest for the first time. He's also been beating up a bunch of guys, and it was like, "Oh, this was confirmation that he's in Punisher," or he's in Punisher than Punisher. He's in Defenders, but then the panel they didn't talk about it all, and the Jeff Loeb, the runner of some Marvel comics and the show, he was talking about that they've talked about Punisher being in Defenders, and they don't really know if he would be a fit for the show. So that could just be a red herring, or maybe this trailer was kind of deceiving. It was just to show like, oh, his show's coming up as well. So does he make an appearance in this?
I think he definitely does. Simply for the fact that his show is the next one in the line. I think. I guess his storyline ends with him like on that rooftop with a sniper, and then he just like walks away or something. That was like his last scene.
He's just pretty much just gonna go kill people now.
So I mean, yeah, obviously there's 100,000 ways they could have him pop up any just starting the story anywhere else. But I think this would be just a short, maybe little clip. Like I don't really know. I don't think he'll be in it a lot.
I think an episode the way I imagine it is an episode or two to help them out in a situation, or the finale of hey, we need. Like, we're fighting a bunch of fucking ninjas. We need everybody. And Matt Murdock, I know a guy.
I think there's 100%, whether it's big or small, some sort of setup for him.
Yeah. If he's not in it, are you disappointed?
Honestly, I feel like they could leave out a few characters and I wouldn't be that disappointed just because there is so much else going on. And for an 8-episode show, like, I just want them to take what they do have and do it well.
Yeah.
So, if they choose to ditch some storylines in favor of making the ones they do are focusing on really good, then I'm not going to be mad.
And we are getting a show of him soon, so it's not like we're going to feel like we're missing out. They've said, like, oh, we don't know if there's going to be Defender Season 2. If this does great, there's going to be Defender Season 2. I'm sure it's a pain in the ass to schedule all these people, like, to get, the same thing as the movies, like, I'm sure it's a pain in the ass, but if it's successful, like, money breeds repetition, like look at Hollywood. Anything that makes money, let's make this. Let's make
Fast
this.
7, Fast 8.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna keep going. Yeah, Jigsaw's back. So I also think that I think he could appear. I'm sorry, Buddy Kyle. But the other thing is, on your point of why they could leave him on, I wouldn't be disappointed. Is that something I could be hyped for season 2 of Defenders? Of hey, I haven't seen Punisher meet Jessica Jones. I haven't seen. Fuck, I cannot wait to see Punisher and Jessica Jones. Oh, that would be such a good conversation. Him and Luke Cage, like, if they do it just in one episode in this, unless it's done in a way where he's kind of helping them in a way, I think they can say that the same way as Avengers. It was like, hey, we've all had the meetup. What's next? Well, we haven't had the Avengers and Guardians meetup yet, right? And that's how we're excited for Infinity War, because, like, oh, we can see Rocket and Hulk together, right? And that's where Defenders Season 2, you can keep that of, like, oh, Punisher could play, like, a half-season role, but he hasn't met Iron Fist, he hasn't met Luke Cage, so it might be a smarter thing to save that for, like, another season, so... Kyle, do you think he'll be in it? And if not, are you disappointed? How are you feeling about it?
I think he'll have kind of a small role type thing. I think one of them might... Like, how does this all go down and Punisher not see this at all?
True. And because, like Dylan just pointed last time we saw him, he was on the rooftop with a gun. So I think he's just going around now, like, killing people.
He's just listening to the radio.
Well, yeah, guilty people, But
yeah, just listen to the CP scanner and just, like, trying to find people. So I think he'll end up intertwining and realizing when he shows up that all these guys are here and he's like, well, what the hell is going on type thing.
It's red.
It's my city. Yeah, I do think that's my prediction. He comes motorcycle, shoots a bunch of guys like, oh, red, you missed me. Like, I guarantee you it's going to be a cliffhanger thing.
And for them to, like, they're probably trying not to say anything because they don't want to ruin a surprise. Or maybe they did, put him with scenes, but they're kind of unsure of what they actually wanted to do with it.
Right.
So maybe they ended up cutting it out and if they wanted to change their mind. So I'm kind of on the fence, but if I'm going to say anything, I'm going to say, yeah, he's going to be in it.
Okay. They did say Comic-Con, Dylan, we talked about this a little bit, but they did say there was going to be a surprise at the end of Defenders. Do you think this is a setup for other seasons? Do you think this is a classic Marvel post-credit scene of like, hey, we're introducing somebody? Or do you think, what I honestly think it is, I think it's just the Punisher trailer. We've not got a trailer. We've not got an official date. The more, I know they said that at the Comic-Con, everybody was like, oh, what is it? Some people, Greg, who's one of our Patreon supporters, he messaged me and he said, do you think it would be them tying them into Infinity War? Fuck, I would love that. Not a chance in hell. No. The most we can hope is for a cameo in Infinity War of like, look at all these heroes around the world, like Thanos saying that, and just like a shot of them like doing their defending stuff. But I don't think like
doing their defending.
Defending something.
That'd be sick.
But like, I would love that. But I think it's just gonna be the Punisher trailer, which would be a nice little reward. Like, and we talked about Punisher is at the end. It's like, oh, I'm hyped for Punisher, and then when you end it, it's Punisher because they did that with Daredevil season 2. Because I watched it, and it was if you watched the last episode, it unlocked the Luke Cage trailer. So that's what I think it is, but just to speculate,
Here's a theory. What if, like, towards the end, they defeat the Hand, blah, 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 and then it kind of goes into this, like, like city where there's a little bit more crime, like Fisk.
Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, Jared Leto's Joker. Fisk comes in and he's got his crime people doing whatever, and Daredevil is like trying to beat them up type thing, and then that's where Punisher comes in, and that's what he pulls that line, it's like, you miss me, Red, or something type thing, and then that's where like your small cameo might be in.
So like a Marvel post credit sort of thing. Yeah. Okay.
That's my theory.
Now that you mentioned that, watching Daredevil to unlock the Luke Cage trailer, like they could easily, and they probably are going to do that with Punisher. But I think what I would like to see as the surprise is like whether or not it's a post credit scene or just like something in the final episode is some sort of like set up for who your next like big boss is, because the Hand has been around the block now. They've been in I guess this will be like the third season in resolving that, and if you take this opportunity to set up your next big boss, and then there's inklings of it in Jessica Jones, or maybe it's the main story, the next Luke Cage, or inklings of it in Iron Fist 2, but then it all comes together in an eventual Defenders 2. Because I don't know how far ahead these guys are thinking relative to like where the Marvel
it's tough
movie
for shows, right? Like it's tough for TV shows because it's not just, hey, we're gonna make this 1-2 hour movie. Like you have characters going through 13 hours. I think they can plan it, but it is, I think, a little harder, and it's just like a little harder just logistically to plan those shoots, I think. So I like your suggestion though. I actually really like that theory, because if you look at Avengers, their post credit scene was Thanos, right? And it was like, oh, this is a setup down the line, and maybe that's where, even then, I still think Fisk could easily be the villain of Defenders season 2. So maybe that's where you get him coming out of prison. Maybe you get Kilgrave's alive again, sort of thing, like something like that, or a new film that we have they've never introduced yet.
Even if they like do. It's kind of like my idea that what you were saying just at the end, where like you have Wilson Fisk or whatever, kind of just becoming like a bigger boss, and maybe he's been in jail. He just met what's his face from Luke Cage at the very end.
Diamondback,
right?
Oh, maybe. So it's gonna be like a bunch of them teaming up,
right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That'd be a cool scene to show in like a Luke Cage prison scene. Is just like Wilson Fisk like garnering or building up this like just prison gang even, and just seeing him gain power in any situation he's in, just because he's so good at manipulating people.
Yeah, that's why I think Fisk can easily be the villain for Defender season 2, because he has that reputation and resume,
and he's just like an iconic comic book character that a lot of people know, even if you don't read comic books.
He may be in jail, but he still like has connections outside that might be gathering.
Oh yeah, we saw him in Daredevil season 2. Like he's like working on getting out of there, and he's just like has little like the cops are paid off. I think there's another thing, like you could get like a fan favorite, like you could get, you guys may know him, like Bullseye. He's like a big Daredevil villain. I think you get an end credit like that. What I'd actually love is a Punisher trailer. I would love them to announce a new Netflix show, like something like me and Curriculum talk about, like something like a Moon Knight or like a Blade or a Ghost Rider. I think that would be a cool tag to, like, even if it has nothing to do with like, not to talk about the Defenders, just like at the end, it's just like if you had like boom boom boom, like Moon Knight coming this, or like a small teaser, like that to me would be a cool surprise of announcing something we had no idea was coming. So could put a lot of stock in this, but
Blade TV series would be sick.
I think that's just, Kevin Feige was talking about like, oh, we hope to have plans with him soon. I don't see how a vampire hunter fits into the Iron Man world right now.
Maybe like 10 years ago when vampires was a huge thing.
Yeah, but like right now, I think
crossover with Twilight.
Yeah, I think Blade's better on Netflix. So, do we have anything to say on Defenders? Because we got our questionnaire about the overall series.
I just had a quick question for you guys. At the end of Iron Fist, we get a little scene where Madame Gao is talking to the one Meacham girl. What's her name again?
Joy. It wasn't Madame Gao. It was Bakudo. Bakudo. Yeah, it was Bakudo.
Okay. Either way, in interaction with the Hand, do you think they mentioned that at all? Do you think they just dropped that, or do you think that's like brought up?
It wasn't Bakudo. It was, I can't remember.
Wasn't it someone from the Hand?
It was Davos, the Steel Serpent. Remember? No, it was Iron Fist's buddy that he turned on.
Well, Madame Gao was there though, wasn't she?
Not in that scene. Oh yeah. No, she was sitting in over
Yeah.
there listening to them. Yeah.
Oh, but she had nothing to do with
No,
it? Okay,
I
no.
think
Then
that's gonna be Iron Fist.
Yeah,
stuff.
they'll drop that.
I hope I never see Joy again.
First,
which
I
we'll
don't know
talk about.
why, because I remember even on a review, I for some reason had like that thought. I don't know why I picture that. But
There's a lot of shows, man. A lot of stuff.
It's
my
fine.
brain can only handle something.
A quick questionnaire. Some of these questions are always summing up. I thought it'd be fun. We talk about the whole series and the whole
Yep.
seasons. It's just a fun little talk about. We have a few. I think it's an obvious one. Who's your favorite defender out of the bunch?
Well, my obvious answer has got to be Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was saying earlier, in 2 years, ask me that question again, I won't be surprised if it's Iron Fist.
I think you'll say Daredevil too, and I'll say Daredevil too, because not even because I'm just biased because of comics. I think Charlie Cox does a good job at Daredevil, Matt Murdock, like the Batman thing. Take him out of the.
I'll say Jessica Jones is a close second, very close second.
I think
Because I think the show has problems and some of the other characters don't need to be there, but I think she was always great.
I think I'd agree, even though I think 2 is a lot closer than I think, because I think you were the reverse, but I liked Mike Coulter's Luke Cage a lot after the series. I thought the season wasn't amazing, but I thought I actually liked him a lot more. So I think it would be Daredevil, Jessica Jones, but Luke Cage was a close second. I really liked him after that season, and I could end up liking him more.
I'm on the fence between Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. I really liked him during his own TV show.
Sorry, Iron Fist.
And sorry.
I honestly might put Iron Fist above Luke Cage.
Yeah, I know you did not love Luke Cage.
No, I
Cage on
didn't.
that show. No.
Yeah, I just think I like the beginning of Luke Cage and kind of that, but then not so much. I think the Diamondback villain really ruined the
brings them
whole
down.
TV show. But even his interaction with Luke Cage's interaction with Jessica Jones and that type of series that was really good. So but Jessica Jones is sweet too. I think I'm gonna go with
sweet
Luke
too,
Cage.
girl. Yeah.
Just a tiny bit more because I just enjoyed kind of just like that more of that hero-ness and the whole. I like the
Harlem vibe.
The Harlem vibe is good.
Favorite villain. Now this is something that could seem obvious, but I think there's a clear one too, and I think this is something that the people that watch these shows is like one of the most debated thing of. I love Cottonmouth a lot. He's not there. Diamondback, no. I actually really like. We talked about Warren Meacham, or no, Harold Meacham. I always get them. Yeah, Harold. I really actually liked him, but for me, it's the clear Kingpin or Kilgrave, and it's like, that's a really tough conversation because Kilgrave's part of the reason why I worry that Jessica Jones. I have the same theory about Stranger Things too. I really worry because people really love Jessica Jones. I really worry without Kilgrave. That show, like Stranger Things, I see that preview. I'm like, you know what? I could be wrong. They got this. Jessica Jones without Kilgrave. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be.
So who do you pick?
I give the slight edge to Kingpin because there's more of I can connect because he started trying to do good, where Kilgrave just kept wanting to sexually assault a woman. Where it's still like he's a despicable person, but it was just more for me. I liked Fisk of like I'm trying to do good, but then he gave up because things wouldn't go his way and he's a man child. But it's like so close. Like it's so on one day you could ask me and I might like Kilgrave a bit more, but I'd give a bit more to Fisk because he is a bit more of a bigger goal than I just want to get this girl. And I get that why Kilgrave, he's a hurt individual, bad childhood, but Kingpin with a slight edge, but both great villains.
For myself, I'm actually gonna give it Kingpin for sure. Over
for sure,
Kilgrave.
you're for sure.
For sure, I'm a for sure. I just like kind of more of the backstory of Kingpin and like how he's had to like made himself to be better and kind of what you said, just like more of a bigger goal and bigger story. Like he essentially wants to do good and he thinks he's doing good. He thinks he's doing good, but he's not at the same time. So he wants the city for himself. So
classic Taylor.
There's no bad, and he's got that love interest as well too that really connects to him. And you kind of see a different side of him.
You embarrassed me in front of her.
That was good.
Yeah.
I like how you have to like lean back and do something.
I've been working on my Kingpin impression quite a bit. Yeah.
I like Kilgrave. Like definitely a moment. Like I remember the TV
So when
show.
you say Kilgrave, you made it sound like it was his first name's Kill, his last name's Grave.
I love Kilgrave.
I really like Kilgrave.
Okay.
Okay.
There's like one point in the season where I actually was rooting for him, and I was like, yeah, no, like
He's a good guy. He's misunderstood.
And then I was like, oh man, like what am I talking about? The guy's an idiot, but like I think
He's an idiot.
That's an idiot.
That thought has never crossed my mind.
He's a dick. But it's just. I think it's just the actor did a really good job of really portraying and stringing those emotions. So I think it was more of I think it was more of an actor and writing thing that Kilgrave is so good. Meanwhile, like Kingpin, like just an overall, I like him as a better villain.
So you think there's a chance without that David Tennant playing Kilgrave, you might have liked him less?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Dylan, are you gonna have a different opinion, or are you
I think I will.
Gallo.
But
shout out to Madame Gallo. She is great. She
does
like
her role very well.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites. There's a good chance she could die in Defenders also, I think, because she's been in them all. But like, I hope not.
No, she's gonna turn into like a fucking dragon. I think like logically, you guys are completely right in that Kingpin he has more depth, and I think his character like went through maybe more of a journey, even though Kilgrave does have quite a bit of backstory added in there eventually.
But you're picking Diamondback.
Well, even fuck Diamondback. But even we'll talk about Diamondback later. He comes up in another list for me. But even like Kingpin as a character that I've known, whereas Kilgrave I've never heard of the character before Jessica Jones. Like I know who Kingpin is, and I think the actor, what's his name again?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, he's great, and I think he performs the role perfectly. But I just fucking love Kilgrave just because I think his powers are just a big thing for me. Like I just that's always been a type of character that I just always find really interesting. And then the actor does an amazing job. I love the look. He's like kind of like skeezy, I guess. And, but he's always like he's always got like that purple suit, and he's just chilling, and he's looking sweet. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to go with Kilgrave.
And I can't say you're wrong, because it's just so he's so good. Like every time I'm about to, because I'm watching all the seasons again, and I'm close to finishing Daredevil, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting Jessica Jones. I love Jessica Jones' character, but I'm just like, and Kilgrave's coming. It to me, he feels like, and that's where I'm talking myself out of Kingpin, but he almost feels like Netflix's like Heath Ledger Joker, where it's just like anytime he's on the screen, he just has you. He's so entertaining. He's so charismatic, and he's so menacing too. Like he's so charming. He's just all this stuff. Like he is like, there you go. That's my saying. He's the Heath Ledger of the Netflix universe. So
it's just such a different type of character, especially in comic book movies, where it's like, okay, you're scared of this character because they're massive, or you're scared of this character because they have a staff that can fucking kill you instantly. Whereas Kilgrave, I guess his powers are really strong in some senses, but it's just
when he's like cut by a thousand deaths, and he makes that girl cut her wife, right?
Yeah,
like, that's the stuff. It's like
just demented.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, I'm hopeful one day they bring him back to life.
Somehow, and he'll be one of those test tube babies like Elektra or Harold Meacham was.
Purple Sky, because he's the purple.
Purple Sky, yes.
Purple, they could get the song and everything. Purple Rain, so much marketing. Favorite supporting character. So Dylan and I are talking about this through text. I was going to say, talk about each show individually, and then if you have one overall. If you guys need a second, I can go because I think I have mine.
Well, I think one thing to bring up, first of all, is like Claire as a supporting character, she probably wins by default just because she's in all the shows. We've seen her a bunch, and she's phenomenal, and the actress is amazing.
That's like asking who's the best S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. It's like, it's Nick Fury, like he's gonna win by default. So yeah, I agree. Shout out to the actor too. She always does. Anytime I think I'm gonna be bored, like, oh, Claire's back, she just adds a new layer. It's just entertaining. So for Daredevil, I'm not a big fan of Foggy.
Really?
Okay, so I'll take that back. I like Foggy enough. I feel like sometimes he's too much in the show. Sometimes I don't need a 2-episode, I think that happens a little in season 2 of, hey, he has to have some little adventure, and that's fine. It doesn't really take it down for me. It's a minor thing. I like him enough as I like his scenes with Matt when they're friends. I like that when he's mad at Matt.
You make a good point because, in my head, I really like those characters, but when I see the question of who's your favorite supporting character, those aren't the first ones that come to my mind.
Yeah. It's kind of like the later seasons of Dexter where I felt like people like Angel or like Quinn were getting a lot more storylines. It's like, the show's called Dexter. I watch it for Dexter. They should be in the show, but they shouldn't have so much going on. Same thing as Daredevil, but it's not enough for me to dislike it. But Foggy, I like when he's more friendly with Matt. Sometimes when he's mad at Matt, it's like, do you have a good reason to? Like, he's mad at him for being late, but he's also saving the city, but whatever. So I like Foggy enough. I'll say that. I don't mind. Don't mind Foggy. I think a lot of people do hate him. Karen, I'm not a big fan of.
Really, do people... Is that
There's a big group that hates Foggy. Yeah.
Not too surprising.
Yeah, Karen, she was my least favorite character for a while, which we'll get into later, but there's someone new. I don't know, because Claire was in that first season, so I'm going to pick somebody... take Elektra out of it, because I'm kind of biased, and I know, but the way I'm getting to, I'm kind of biased.
Yeah.
Elektra could have her own show, she may not... Maybe they'll announce that at the end. I'd see that. I'm going Ben Urich from season 1, who was the reporter that helped Karen out the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy that Kingpin chokes to death.
It's true.
I'm watching season 1. I really like his character, and I really miss his character. I felt the actor did a great job of portraying him. Like I said, I would pick Elektra. She's the default, but I love her already from the comics. So, okay, I'll cheat this way. Season 1, Ben Urich. Season 2, Elektra. So there you go. But yeah, Ben Urich, I really like him. He's a great comic book character.
I mean, isn't Punisher technically a supporting character?
Technically, yeah, but same thing. I won't pick him because he has his own show coming up. Same thing, he would win automatically. But Ben Urich, I really liked him. He really did a great job. He's a good comic book character, still all right, but he raised it. Jessica Jones, I love Trisha Herberger.
Mm-hmm.
Is that even her name? No,
Trisha
Herberger is actually a podcaster, I think. Trisha.
Something.
Trisha Herbert?
I think she's a podcaster. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. I listen to 30 podcasts. They're bound, but yeah, she becomes.
Ours is not one of them.
I listen to ours.
It's a joke.
I listen to your guys'.
It's a joke. Fuck you.
I really like her and her relationship with Jessica Jones. I think they have a great friendship, and honestly, if I'm taking Elektra and Punisher out, I think she's my favorite supporting character overall. Actually, I really like the chemistry they have. It's tough. There's some good ones. Iron Fist.
I was thinking Misty.
I'll get to her. But she's my favorite in Luke Cage for sure. Luke Cage. Maybe Pops? No. Like, Misty's great, but I don't think she's my favorite. The other one is Colleen Wing. Colleen Wing and Iron Fist is really good. She kind of stole the show sometimes. Yeah. So it's kind of like a tie for me between, like, Colleen Wing and Trisha. Or just Trish. I can't remember. I gotta look it up because they called her and stuff. So, yeah, I got... There's a lot, but if I had to pick...
Hard to say.
I'll give a slight edge to Colleen Wing because she's pretty badass. She has some great fight scenes. So.
She has a shit ton of fight scenes. I feel like it's more than Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Actually, probably not. But I feel like her choreograph is a lot better than Iron Fist.
Trisha Hertzberger is a podcaster.
Trisha Hertzberger.
Yeah, she's appeared on Kind of Funny a lot, so that's where I know her. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Nice.
And it's not Trisha, it's just Trish Walker. I don't know why they call her
Trish Walker.
Just Trish.
Patricia. Okay, as for myself, let's see. Daredevil season 1. I think. Man, it's been a while since I've watched season 1, so it's hard to remember some of those smaller characters.
Wesley's another one I shot from Daredevil season 1. Kingpin's main little henchman guy that helped him out.
Yeah.
Karen killed him. Loved him.
He was alright.
Oh really? I thought mad he got killed.
Actually, I think he got better. At first, I wasn't a fan, but then he kind of grew on me a little bit.
I agree, yeah.
So actually, I'd probably pick him or Foggy. I like Foggy. I've always have.
Always will.
And then season 2, I'm gonna go with Elektra. I mean, Punisher obviously takes the cake, but he's kind of like a star in his own way. So, as for Jessica Jones, I really can't think of any except for Trish. Like, I can't.
There was her friend there, like I said.
I guess at the time, Luke Cage was a supporting actor.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's why I didn't put Punisher, because Punisher's got his own show, right? Because you're automatically right. Punisher, I think, wins out of all these because he's so great in this. Like, we didn't talk about him that much, but he's so great. But it's tough because they're graduating,
So, I mean, Jessica Jones, like, her drug friend guy, I didn't actually really like that character. I wish he wasn't in the show, and they I think that would have been a great opportunity to make the show shorter, just to cut that guy out. And I don't think they would have had to do a whole lot to work around the fact that his character wasn't around.
Yeah.
So, as for Iron Fist, I really liked the Meachums. I guess Harold's like the villain, but I love Ward. I've talked about that a lot on our review.
Is it Ward or Warren?
Ward.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
It's strange.
I'm on a bad roll tonight.
But yeah, I love that character, so that's my and I actually didn't really like Colleen that much. Like, I think some of her moments were great, but other times not so much, and I thought her twist wasn't that good, and I kind of saw it coming. So yeah, I thought she was just okay, but I think I'll go with Ward. And then for Luke Cage, I guess Cottonmouth's a villain, but I would say he's more of a supporting character, and I loved him. I thought he was amazing.
I'd count him because, like, in his last episode, he's kind of, like, questioning if he should do this anymore. And big shout out to Mahershala. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, I
That's
think
when the show went downhill.
I feel like the way it's very true. I think just like when he's on screen, like he just emits this like power or this aura, and he's just so much fun to watch. I just loved him on screen. So
and it felt like we didn't get to see
I was really sad when he died.
Yeah, like we got to have the fun shock value of him dying, but we didn't get to see him and Cage's story play out.
Yeah,
you know, like that was disappointing. And I felt like they should have kept that guy alive because that guy has a fucking Oscar now. Like he won an Oscar last year. Like other guy I'll show, I completely forgot him. Luke Cage's Shades. Love Shades.
Oh yeah,
such a fucking slimy.
Fucking
always
Shades.
look shady as it comes. Like always looking for a way in. The way that he had that weird attraction to Cottonmouth's sister. I'll shout her out. She was fine. Yeah. I'm excited to see what she does in Luke Cage too. But yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about Shades.
I'll put him over Misty. I'm sorry, and that I love.
I might as well. I think Misty's great, and I was gonna mention her as like my second, but yeah, I think Shades might bumped up.
I cannot wait to see. He's one of my most anticipated things.
And he's still around too, right?
Yeah, he almost died, but he made it up. I can't wait to see him and the lady. I forget his name, just to like run that town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always the glasses.
Did I forget any? I think
I did. Iron Fist, Jessica Jones.
Oh my other last shout out was Turk, who showed up in Daredevil and Luke Cage. I really like that guy. I don't know why. He's very minor. He's just like a small time villain.
But he's kind of guy selling the guns out of the car.
Daredevil broke his hand.
He kind of just pops up and like he's never doing a whole lot, and he's kind of like lazy, and he kind of gets fucked over. But I love when he's on screen. I think I want him to show up more. I never want him to be a bigger role than what he's currently at. Like just 2 episodes in Luke Cage, I think it was. Like he was very minor. And I think that's perfect, but I like that he's in the universe. I like that he's walking around, and you might just bump into him on the street, and he's like, he is a bad guy, he's a criminal, but he's not that bad of a bad guy. Like he's not gonna, shoot up a school or something. Yeah. So
no, that was a good shot. See, as we talk about this, even shows them like, oh yeah, there's so many good characters. Yeah. There's so many ones. Kyle, how about yourself over there?
I don't think I really need to repeat all these same names that we've said before because I can't think of any new ones.
No.
So
we took all of it from you.
Yeah, it's perfect. Fine.
You know what? We didn't shout them out. Stick, 100%.
Yeah,
Stick is great.
Stick.
There's so many characters we forget. Are you not the hugest fan of Stick?
I think he's good, but I don't think he'd be like he's not. He wouldn't be my favorite Daredevil supporting character. I mean, a lot of these things are hard for me to say as well because I've only watched them all once.
You can do per show and your overall.
You can do whatever you want, man.
You can do yeah. This is our show. We pay for
You're
our
1/3 of this
SoundCloud
podcast. You do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
You can say I don't like any of these characters.
You pay for 1/7 of the SoundCloud subscription.
You honestly, you could walk out that door right now, go home, and fucking do whatever you want.
And then come back.
I don't want
after
you
we
to
watch
do that,
Defenders and then we do a podcast on it. No, I think all these characters that we've kind of said, they're all really good supporting characters. I don't feel like they're anything bad. Like each season, like there's been like someone who's been really good, outstanding. Like I guess for Daredevil, like I'm not a big fan of Karen Foggy. Like I think he was good in season 1. I just felt like he was too much in season 2.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And even I guess I kind of totally forgot those kind of side characters, like the guy in the newspaper.
Yeah, Benner.
And then
what do you think? Do you like Elektra?
I like Elektra a lot. Like she's amazing, but I'm kind of just we've already discussed it. We're just taking her and the Punisher out.
Yeah. And I don't say that as like a way like to objectify her. Like she's a gorgeous woman, but like her character is great. Like those flashbacks of like, and I say it because she's a gorgeous woman, but the flashbacks of her and Matt and like when they break in that mansion and she's just roughing the guy up and then she reveals that this was the guy that killed your dad. Like she is so good at being. I feel like she makes you fall in love with her, but then the second she turns cold and you're like, this is a crazy bitch. Like, why would I be with her? But then she comes back to like being knowing Matt and just explaining. Like, I think she is really. I think people forget her because her performance is really subtle. It's not as flashy as like a Punisher or like even a Codmouth. Like she doesn't get huge scenes, but she does a great job at carrying scenes and not like stealing. Like she's phenomenal. I can't wait to see. I hope she's not too much of a robot in
the whole Defenders. You know, I hope we get to see her break out a little bit, but
yeah. No, I think overall, like these are all good supporting characters, and it's kind of hard just to pick one out of all.
Yeah,
of them, to be honest.
best opening credits out of the 4 shows.
My pick is gonna be Jessica Jones. I like the highly artistic
noir type of feel.
Yeah, and I like the little theme that plays along with it. I think the reason I probably wouldn't pick the other 3, and I watched them all earlier today, and I think they're all decent. I don't think I can really remember any show that I was like, man, I love that opening theme. I think it's great. I think I kind of get Dexter's good, but I just get after watching 7 seasons of it, I kind of just get tired of them and I start to skip them. There's no and none of these openings were good enough that I was like, oh, I gotta watch it every episode.
Three's Company?
3, I don't know.
But
what I was gonna say is Iron Fist, Daredevil, and Luke Cage's are all very similar. It's just these slow pans of these claymation figures doing punches and moving around.
I gotta disagree 100%. I love 2 of those. I do not like Luke Cage because it's just a lot of shot of his body and it's word on it. It's just
kind of boring. Music's fine. But
I think the music is boring there too. Luke Cage's. I really like Jessica Jones. Iron Fist for me is a second. I love that him doing the. I
don't think it's bad. I'm just saying they're all
yeah.
samey to me, and I think why Jessica Jones prevails as my favorite is just because it is the highly stylized and it's unique and it's something cool.
Now, for the viewers who
it's good for the character.
Don't remember the opening credits, you should review.
You're saying this for yourself, aren't you?
For the viewers.
Well, Jessica Jones, it's very. It almost looks like there's fragments of paper, pasted on top of each other and then moving around slowly.
Yeah.
And it has
it's
a little
comic booky style.
It's dark and there's a lot of purple in there.
I got it.
And
the viewers got it.
Daredevil's the wax when it's falling and everything. That's why that's my favorite because I love the theme the most in Daredevil. The
and it's this gray guy just kicking around and punching things.
It's ding 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 ding. It's this good. Daredevil doesn't have any punching around. It's just clay of the city, clay of his mask.
Clay. I'm just saying clay.
Okay, yeah, true clay. Iron Fist is it's a clay Iron Fist guy, and then Luke Cage is just his body showing off Mike Coulter's so.
Yeah, Iron Fist is just picture some guy in this big tank of yellow water and he's just floating. Kind of, that's what it is.
I'm gonna.
That's how I would describe it.
Floating.
I'm gonna say what's it called? Daredevil.
What's it called?
Just because actually when you mentioned that, I totally remember it now, and it's kind of just a little bit more for myself, kind of the artsy and kind of just step back and kind of it's almost he's reborning or things are just slowly coming out ice cream. You dip the chocolate in the ice cream at Dairy Queen and they bring it out and it's just slowly solidifying. I think that's a really cool look. So
a rebirth of the ice cream man.
Let's go on a little bit downer note. Least favorite character in the entire series.
Boom! Diamondback. Fuck Diamondback.
I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon as well too.
For me, it was Karen for the longest time. Joy Meacham is a terrible character.
I honestly think her last scene could justify me picking that as well.
It ruins her character completely. At least Karen, sometimes she's a little annoying, but she's consistently annoying. Yeah. Joy is all over the map from 1 second she loves Danny, 1 second she hates Danny, 1 second she wants to destroy him, to the next she wants to help him. She's just one of the worst characters I've seen written on TV in the past little while. I'm excited. I'm intrigued to see what they do with her in season 2, but man, she is awful in Iron Fist, and I'm sorry for that actress, but yeah, not good.
Yeah, I think I can't quite put her above Diamondback because I liked her character, even though it was inconsistent. I liked her character up until the final reveal scene when she's talking with, what's his name?
Davos.
Up until her scene talking with Davos, and then obviously the character just it's almost everything they built up just falters at that point. It just makes no sense. But Diamondback to me was just so boring. I don't understand why they gave him this suit because it just didn't fit at all with the vibe of the show or with Luke Cage.
It was the take on Luke Cage.
I didn't like that it was just the shoe and he's your brother thing.
Yeah,
I didn't like the whole aspect of he created this bullet that can kill Luke Cage, and it's that's so boring. I just really wish that character was never created.
Wow.
But
never
maybe
created.
maybe he'll stay in prison and I'll never have to hear from him again. That'd be cool.
Fair enough. Kyle, you have anything to add on Diamondback?
I feel like he definitely during that show, like, it definitely brought it down quite a bit. I think for me, I liked his voice kind of at the beginning, and I liked him at kind of during the beginning, but then like as soon as he started revealing a little bit more and more, I started to dislike. It started going downhill for me, and yeah, the suit and the costume kind of just doesn't vibe well. I didn't mind that he has a bullet that could stop Luke Cage type thing, but it's still like it's a spiral downhill right from the beginning.
Poor Diamondback. Finally, last one that's ended on a good high note, something that's debated and gets a lot of praise in Netflix, mostly maybe just one show, but your favorite fight scene in all the shows, not all, but just like, you know, in total, what would be your favorite one? You got Daredevil fight scenes, you got Punisher in the prison, you got Punisher v Daredevil, you got a hallway fight, you got multiple hallway fights, you got the stairwell, you got Kingpin versus Daredevil.
Where are we going? Show to show?
No, I just what's your overall? Yeah, because the
Yeah.
Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, you don't have that many good ones. So.
I can't think of one from Jessica Jones, to be honest with you, other than like the Luke Cage v Jessica Jones,
Yeah,
which is
that's
that one's good. Iron Fist like has so much potential for some great fight scenes, but it's just clogged down by bad choreography and not enough retakes or care given to like, okay guys, that wasn't quite it, let's do it again. It's like, oh, okay, we got the shot, okay, let's go home.
I think Colleen's scenes in the cage are really good.
Say that.
And I think the one Iron Fist, well actually, sorry, there's actually two. The one where he fought Davos in the rain I thought was pretty good at the very, very last.
I didn't.
The one I thought was the best out of that was all like him and Davos versus the entire hand in the compound. I actually thought they did a good job there. They do the classic back to back and they're just taking on people left and right. Was it Daredevil's like worthy? No, but I thought it was still good. Luke Cage v Diamondback.
Fuck that.
Not that good.
Oh my god!
Everyone else is
what I did, before this a couple hours ago, I just googled like Marvel fight scenes so I could try to jog my memory. I've only seen those shows once, you know, give me a break. And that was on the list, Luke Cage vs. Diamondback, and it wasn't just the TV show, it was MCU, and it was in the top 25.
Wow.
And I was like, no. And I think I actually just exited that tab. I was like, whatever this list is fraudulent, I don't want to see anymore.
It's fraudulent.
I mean, for me, it's gotta be the Punisher jail scene where he just destroys everyone in there.
It's such a good scene.
So good.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't even know what word you could use to describe it. It's
Epic.
amazing. It's breathtaking. It's juicy. It's
Lots of
harsh. It's gritty.
Symbolic.
Symbolic.
He ends up with the Punisher logo on his fucking jacket, so
Yeah, that's my pick.
that's a great pick.
Not a unique pick by any means,
No.
but I mean, sometimes you just gotta pick the best option. Right?
This is like the villain thing where there's a few scenes you could pick and I can't even argue because it's just like, yep, that scene's amazing. That scene's
You
great.
don't need to justify it. You got it.
Yeah.
I'm stuck between the Punisher scene and the stairwell scene. They're just both really good in their own way. Like the Punisher, like him just going back and forth with all these guys, and a little bit more, I guess, not brutal, but like there's a lot more blood.
I think it's more brutal. I think it feels less choreographed and just more of just a
more
knockdown,
gore.
drag out fight.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like I really like the cinematography of the whole hall. I mean, the stairwell of like him like slowly going down the stairwell, and making his way down. And I think
chain on his hand.
I'm just gonna give that little edge to this the stairwell, just because I really liked how they filmed the whole sequence there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's one I gotta shout out for sure. The OG hallway scene Daredevil, the one that really inspired all the fight scenes of. That to me was like, oh, Daredevil's fighting people, that's cool. Now when that hallway scene happened, that was like, it was another level. Like, man, like obviously there's tricks. It wasn't a whole one take, but the way they edited to make it feel like one take was great. It was the real first fight scene of seeing someone tired and hurt and punching a guy, throwing him aside, him getting up 2 minutes later, you know. Great scene. Another scene I think is really underrated is the very last scene in Daredevil when he versus Kingpin. Because I think they do a great job of showing off the differences of Daredevil's very stylized, very trained, and Kingpin's just this fucking tank who's whipping him around. And that's why I like Kingpin, even though Matt Murdock's so trained, gets in a lot of shots, and he just does stuff where they just pick him up and slam him, and he just uses his weight. Like, I think, and he has his like armor and his suit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really underrated, and it shows the way of he fights like the mixed martial arts guy. He fights like a brawler, you know, and it was perfect, and it was great. It was a great way to eventually show that, yeah, Daredevil is stronger than Kingpin, so he knows now in the future, hey, I gotta outsmart him, because I can't outbeat him, and that's what that kind of showed.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two that would be in the top would be the Punisher one. I'm the same. I give a little edge to the stairwell just because I remember the shot of just seeing Daredevil just like he's just kind of like climbing and moving faster.
Yeah.
Stairwells like just hitting people. I love the chain. It's something from the comics.
Yeah.
He's just whipping people around. Just even stuff like when he goes to take the elevator and just like 20 guys going. He's like, we're going down. I guess like. It's just such a great scene, so I would give that one that little edge over the Punisher scene. But the Punisher scene, it's so brutal, and it's so like we were talking about. I saw a retro earlier, recorded first one, and like there's no stone left, like no stone left unturned in that. Like they don't dumb it down, they don't make it pretty. It's just bare knuckle like brawling, and it is a good message to show you. I think that's what Punisher show is going to be like. You're going to get a lot of that. So those two scenes for me, that's like a 1A and a 1B. Same thing. You'd ask me tomorrow, I'll probably say, oh yeah, Punisher jail scene, because John Barenthal does such a great job, and I cannot wait to watch that.
Sweet,
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that and review that. We still haven't got confirmation if it's 13 or 8 episodes. There's rumor it could be 8, so I'm very, very excited.
Yeah.
So
I'll shout out to the Luke Cage one when he goes into the drug house and he's beating up the guys throughout the whole way through.
with the big door.
With the big door.
It was pretty fun.
It was fun. Like I'm not saying it's up to this level, but I'm giving it a shout out.
Yeah.
Worth a shout out.
Well, hopefully Defenders gives us some new scenes to be talking about, some new characters, some new twists and turns. We broke down everything that we could possibly about this. I'm excited. We're going to be dropping a review either the same day the show comes out or the next day. We're figuring that out, but it'll be within the 24 hours. We're very excited. I cannot wait for Defenders. My body is as ready as possible.
And if you're wanting to hear more, like us talk about this more, we did a review. The three of us plus Emily did a review for Luke Cage and for Iron Fist. Were you there for Iron Fist?
I wasn't there for Iron Fist, but it's fine.
And then you and me a long time ago did
Dare-
season 2 of Daredevil. So so we got everyone but Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Maybe one day we'll
retro
get back there. Retro it. But thank you very much for tuning in. You know all the links. I'm gonna throw them up after this. Go to Patreon. This episode's gonna be up early for Patreon people. For the dollar amount, you can get episodes like this and some of our other content. $5, you can get podcasts that aren't even coming out to December. Pocket change, don't leave it sitting there. Let us have it, and we'll give you nice juicy content. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please subscribe and like this video, and whether it's on SoundCloud, iTunes, or YouTube, subscribe there, because we will be dropping a Defenders review, because I guarantee you there's going to be a lot to get into. There's going to be a lot to break down, and I'm very excited. So we'll see you then.